long been known for its clean air, clear water, and beautiful white sand beaches. But in recent days, a cloud has appeared on the horizon of this beautiful resort community. A cloud in the shape of a killer shark.
JAWGUST is back once again. Jaws is 50, so I thought, my friends, for you to come with me as I go back to Amity. A 31-day podcast, talking 4 minutes of Jaws each day. It will be another month-long show for me, and I hope to see you there, 'cause JAWGUST is back again.
Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Thursday, August 14th, which means it's the 14th day of August. It's the 14th day of Golden August. And for the 14th day in a row, I am here talking about Jaws to each and every one of you. Today, we cover minutes 56 to 60. We start back at the billboard with Larry, Martin, and Matt. And we end on the beaches of Amity with Larry in a different but very cool suit coat. The fact that it's August 14th is also my brother's wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to him and his wife. They got married in August. They didn't know it was August at the time, back, I'm going to say 21 years ago. But they should have known because, Jaws and August, it kind of goes together. But August is a huge month in my family. My birthday was on August 4th. My parents' anniversary is on the 16th. My dad's birthday is on the 16th. As I said, my brother's birthday is on the 14th. Yes, I did. You heard that right. My dad's birthday and my parents' anniversary were on the 16th. I think they had to get married because 2 months later, my brother was born. Okay, that's not actually true, but I always like to tell that joke. August 20th is my niece's birthday. It is just an extravaganza of our family all around August, or at least I'm celebrating as August. They might celebrate as that, whatever the month is normally called. Who could tell at this point? Who cares? I've been doing this for 2 weeks now, and as I said, I think I said this the other day, it becomes just like second nature, part of your daily routine, so much so that when you get to September 1st, or on movie month, you get to July 1st, or for March and McFly, you get to April 1st, you instinctively, is that the word? You think, oh, golly gee, I should have, did I do a podcast? Did I forget? Did I mess up? I think I had one dream once where it was December. The dream was it was December 1st, and I completely forgot to do my first sitcom, All Ye Faithful. I think that's the only one. Now, the difference when I do the daily shows, the first time I did JAWGUST, it was an exercise in watching a movie for 30 days and podcasting about it for 30 days. Same thing with Margie McFly. And it is what I do every year with Movie Month. But with the, and I did it with Back to the Future 2, Back to the Future 3, Margie 2, Margie 3. But since then, it's taken a different, it's taken a kind of a different route where I still do a podcast every single day, but it doesn't have to be like I watch the 4 minutes today and then I podcast about it today. You know, I could bank 3 or 4 episodes and boom, just put them all out in a row. In theory, that's what I could do. I haven't done that. I've been doing this. I think maybe I did 1 or 2 episodes the night before, so that they would publish early in the morning. I think it's been 2 weeks. I don't know. But pretty much I've been doing this on a daily basis, even though I read the rules, I wrote the rules, I made up the rules. There are no rules, but if they were, I would have written them down and I would have read them and I would have followed them, that I can do multiple in a day. It's just that a show needs to come out every single day. And it just kind of happens that I've been just doing it on a daily basis. I've yet to do 2 shows in one day, though that may change based on scheduling with guests and, guests that might be on more than one show. I'll leave it at that. One of the guests who I actually am going to be having on, we haven't picked a date yet, but it's going to be sometime next week. I know that for certain. Is, of course, Eric, who I assume is listening to this right now, might be through YouTube on his television. I'm thinking. I got a text last night at like 11:50. It said, cutting it close. And I just laughed because, yeah, I was cutting it close. It's 9:30 right now. So the plan is to get this up much earlier. But we went off on a tangent of different things that, that we would or could possibly talk about. One of them is like what an actual, not Jaws 2, because there would be no shark, but what is the story of what happens after Jaws in reality, not this Hollywood movie where we get another shark. That makes no sense. What in reality happens? I'm not going to talk about it now. I think I should save that to bring up with him. But that's what we call a teaser. So then you think, oh, when Eric comes on, oh, didn't they say they were going to talk about XYZ? And then you can actually, number one, you can either find out what we were talking about, or you can say, oh my God, they completely forgot. It's one of those two things. It's definitely one of those two things. Something else we were talking about as the clock chimed from JAWGUST 13th to JAWGUST 14th was the reward. The $3,000 reward, and I guess also you'd say the $10,000 reward. So he asked me, did the town pay Quint's estate, or did Hooper and Brody get the reward? So there are 2 thoughts there. So I think Brody should get the $3,000 reward. Now he probably won't keep it. He'll probably donate it or put it right back into like the public fund or donate it to schools or something, because he's Brody and he's awesome. I said, but Quint was hired for $10,000. Oh, wait a minute. But it was on the contingency of that he killed the shark. And then I went on to talk about what a mystery that could have led to things that I won't quite discuss yet here today. I'll save that for the next time. But it actually, it's funny that he brought that up, because I got another comment on Spotify from Mikey B, Amber Brown Dog, and he said, I do not believe any of the reward was paid. Mrs. Kintner's offered $3,000 to anyone who kills the shark. Quint said he would find the shark for $3,000, but for $10,000 he would catch it and kill him. Vaughn responds that they would take that under advisement. Presumably an agreement was reached with Quint, but it would not be for anything less than killing the shark, which he didn't accomplish, nor did Hooper. Brody would have the strongest case for the bounty, but he likely would be precluded from receiving private money for doing his duty as a public servant. It is unclear who would pay the higher bounty. If it was the town, certainly Vaughn would fight against Brody being compensated. Yeah, that all makes sense. So let me break this down a little bit. Okay, he says, now this is from Mike, kind of answering the same question that Eric was asking. He doesn't believe that any reward was paid. Mrs. Kintner offered $3,000 to anyone who killed the shark. So these guys are all cheering. And at this point, well, you're right. I don't think the $3,000 ultimately gets paid. But at this point in the movie, where I am right now, they have the shark spotters out there. So I guess at that point they're saying they're believing that there's still a shark out there, but they're still not going to close the beaches. Okay, so at this point, they know the tiger shark isn't the right one, and Mrs. Kintner wouldn't have paid them that quickly, so the guys would have been all excited. Then 24 hours later or so, they're like, sorry, guys, that's not the shark. The little boy was not in his stomach. As much as I wanted him to be in there, he wasn't in there. So that makes sense that the $3,000 doesn't get paid to them. But Mrs. Kintner still has the $3,000 bounty, the $3,000 reward out there. Okay. Quint says, I'm going to do it for 10. That's through the city. That's through the city officials. Technically, it's a civic ordinance with a board of selectives that decide that. So there's $10,000 from the city. I'm still saying the $3,000 is its own thing. So technically, Quint gets, okay, if they go with Quint's original contract, Quint gets hired for 3, and if he kills it, he'll get 10. So that when Larry signs that, it's $3,000 right then and there. He gets another $7,000 if he comes through. So his $3,000 automatically goes to Quint. That should go to Quint's estate no matter what. If we're going with the terms that Quint agreed to in front of a room filled with people. So they have to hold him to $3,000 if you get it. But if you catch it and kill it, it's 10. He says, I'll catch it and kill it. Yeah, he would catch it and kill it for 10. So that's an extra $7,000 in this contract that Brody had in his pocket ready to go. Well, he will have in the future. We're not there yet. So the $3,000 never gets spent from Mrs. Kintner. Okay? Because the person who killed the shark is a public official. And as you said, he wouldn't have taken it. As much as she would have wanted it, maybe she says, I'm going to now donate this to the school and we can get the Alex Kintner bench on the front of the school or something like that. But the $3,000 from the town definitely goes to Quint's estate. I think still, because he's the only one who was hired. Hooper's getting paid to come in. He was getting paid no matter what. This is part of whatever grant they use. And plus, Hooper's rich. He doesn't care. Brody's got his police officer's salary. The $3,000, not from Kintner, but from the people of Amity, the fine people of Amity, goes to the Quint estate. And then they probably say, but it also took us $3,000 to clean up the mess of your boat. So after expenses, we'll send a check to your kin for a good, $1,500 or something like that. I'm sure Larry would try to pull that shit. What's funny is when I started doing this episode, I thought, oh my goodness, the clip I'm playing is only a few seconds. Oh, I mean, is this going to be, one of my shortest episodes yet? And we're closing in on 15 minutes, and I haven't even really started talking about these 4 minutes from today. It picks up back at the billboard where Hooper is trying to explain things to, he's getting angry and he's trying to explain things to Vaughn, to Larry. And Larry is more focused on trying to deflect from the real problem by getting all bent out of shape from a very tiny issue. Imagine having an elected official like that. That'd be madness. That'd be madness. So he's like, this is sick vandalism, and I want the people, whoever did this, to be hung up by their Buster Browns. He's all for punishing the people who he'd rather string up the people who defaced his billboard than the shark who is eating his citizens. Future voters are being eaten. Larry, what are you doing? Hooper tries to reason with him.
I'm not going to waste my time arguing with a man who's lining up to be a hot lunch. I'm going to see you later.
Oh, no, please don't do this.
He's not. Mr. Vaughn, what we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine. It's really a miracle of evolution. All this machine does is swim and eat and make little sharks, and that's all. Now, why don't you take a long, close look at this sign? Those proportions are correct.
Love to prove that, wouldn't you? Get your name into the National Geographic.
Larry, if we make an effort today, we might be able to save August.
August? For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business. It's going to be one of the best summers we've ever had. Now, if you fellas are concerned about the beaches, you do whatever you have to make them safe. But those beaches will be open for this weekend.
All right. Okay, maybe Hooper is a little sarcastic, saying he's lining up to be a hot lunch before he tries to reason with him. But he just says, listen, you have to understand, all this thing does is eat and swim and make little sharks. And he's like, look at the proportions. He points to the billboard, like, that's about right. And all Larry thinks he deflects again. He's like, oh, you'd love to prove that, huh? Get yourself in the National Geographic. Like, he thinks that Hooper just wants to be famous by proving the shark is still out there. It's like, I find that as a terrible argument. I love Murray Hamilton in this movie. I hate Larry Vaughn in this movie more now than ever. Okay, let's look at it this way. You'd love to get yourself into the National Geographic by proving this. Okay, this is why I think that is a terrible argument. Okay, let's say, Larry, that Hooper is wrong. Well, then good. Great. Amity can move on. Amity's safe. The beaches are safe. Great. Awesome. For the rest of your days, you can show that you brought in someone and they were wrong and you were right and the beaches are safe. But if he's right, Larry, Bubby, now you can be the hero that put greed aside for the betterment of the people of Amity and the people who come to Amity every year. You are the hero who helped bring the shark to justice. Or I don't know if the shark, not justice, but you helped save the beaches. Instead, he's just like, I guess he thinks that's an insult, and Hooper can just laugh. And Brody's like, listen, Larry, we got to act, okay? If things work out right, we can save August. I don't know what August is. I think it's around the same time as JAWGUST. He's like, JAWGUST? Okay, I really did try to take a sound. I tried to find a J from Geographic or July and put it next to August to make JAWGUST. It didn't sound good, so I didn't keep it. I tried. But he says, August? Oh, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and these beaches will be open. We're going to be the best summer ever. Like, he is just like, it's amazing the similarities of like modern society that I see in this. Like, I didn't know Jaws was going to be a parable for, the future, but Oh my God. He's just like, you do whatever you need to do. At least he says this. You do whatever you need to do to make sure things are safe. But these beaches will be open. Now, they do a lot. And for the most part, the beaches end up being pretty safe. The beaches, not the water. Not the water. We're talking beaches. So the next segment we get, it's like a little montage that I really like. It shows just the people, the tourists, the summer visitors coming into town. Meanwhile, you have Brody and Hooper calling all over the place, trying to get reinforcements, trying to get extra people. I know that, Brody's looking for Chief Petty Officer Feldman is the little guy with the crew cut. Hooper's like, why would I come to Brisbane? Is that what he says? When I have a great white here. You're seeing all these people come off of the ferry into town in Amity. And I'm almost positive I took the ferry, if not a very similar ferry, when we came to Martha's Vineyard for Jaws Fest 20 years ago. Yes, 20. This is going back to 2005, which freaks me out. And we went over there. Here's how stupid we were. We parked our car on took the ferry over. It wasn't a ferry where you could put a car on. And we were like, we didn't plan ahead. We were very dumb. And so then we had to rent a car while we were over there. Thankfully, we did. And that was with my brother and my Fine Movies co-host, David, and David's daughter, who was only 9 years old at the time. And now I feel extremely, extremely old. So another thing, like I say, sometimes I say that people of Amity get what they deserve. And I think I see another bit of evidence to that. So all these tourists are coming over to Amity Island, and that's great. But while we're seeing the boat come in, the first thing we see is this giant photograph of all the fishermen who caught the tiger shark. The what? The tiger shark. And, I see Brody in the photo, Hendrix holding up the beach's clothes. This is the photo. What is it? What is it showing? Look, we caught this shark who probably killed these people. And I see shark jaws being sold, like a souvenir stand that actually says shark souvenirs. Mrs. Kintner lives on your island. Her son was killed. Chrissy Watkins, I think, was she a visitor, a college student? Killed. Lifelong resident and fisherman Benjamin Gardner. Killed. And it's 4th of July. Let's make sure we get all those shark souvenirs out. People have been hearing about this shark. Let's show the shark was caught and or a shark was caught. Who knows? Maybe there's another one out there. Ooh, let's sell souvenirs. Like that is, it just doesn't get much lower than that. One of my favorite little moments is when they're trying to make all these phone calls looking for people, and Brody is trying to that's when he calls about Chief Petty Officer Feldman, and Sean, his son, is trying to get his attention over and over, and Brody just turns and snaps at him. I don't know, it just seems so natural, so realistic, and I love that moment.
Monday, Mishkin.
Listen,
Mishkin
is
is
Chief
the
Petty
guy that
Officer
feeds the
Feldman
white
there?
mice.
What? He's the little guy with the crew cut.
I love it. He just snaps and goes, what? And I love the frantic pace of them working together, trying to bring in as many people as they can. And they do end up getting a lot of people. But I just love that, Larry said we could do this. At the very least, the beaches are going to be open. We have to do everything we possibly can to make sure things are safe. Now, what I would do is go, the beaches are open, but there could be a shark in the water, so be careful, maybe, or don't go out there, swim at your own risk. I don't know. So right after that little montage, it kind of jumps right to a shark. Again, we get a shark, but it's not the shark. It's not even really a shark. It is an arcade game. I don't want to say a video game, but it definitely is an arcade game. What we're actually seeing is something called Killer Shark. Killer Shark is a 1972 electromechanical hunting game produced by Sega Enterprises. Sega! I'm looking at something called Sega Retro. By the way, is it Sega or Sega? I've heard people say Sega, but I've always said Sega. So I'm going to say Sega. It says a shark moves around the playing field and the player shoots it with a spear gun. It has a series of slides on a wheel that makes the shark move and thrash around when shot, almost like a flip book. The game features electronic sound and an 8-track player. It is essentially the same game as Sega's Sea Devil, which was another electromagnetic game, but that used a manta ray instead of a shark. What is an electrical mechanical game? They're types of arcade games that operate on a combination of some electronic circuitry and mechanical action from the player to move items contained within the game's cabinet. In other words, everything you're seeing is kind of physically in front of you, and I think it's a light gun. Basically, I believe like it's using light and light sensors to show you different slides and different animations, but it is not a video game in the sense like even like a Pac-Man, or you're not watching a video, you're seeing actual like drawn images, not projected, but just kind of, maybe they're projected with a reflection. I'm not sure exactly, but I did find a couple links showing like the inner workings of Killer Shark, and another one showing like an old advertisement. It says, I'm attempting to, someone is trying to rebuild this. Now I say someone is trying, this was posted 12 years ago on something called Pinsider, a pinball insider game and this, it shows a cool advertisement of Sega's Killer Shark and I think this guy found this cabinet and he did a full restoration of it. I'm going to put a link up to the first page, but if you go all the way to the final page, like if you scroll to the bottom of this Pinside link that I sent, it shows there's 428 posts in this topic. You're on page 1 of 9. If you click all the way to 9, you see the finished thing, and it's pretty remarkable what this guy does. He remakes the Killer Shark. That's really cool. And I think that's just a clever thing to put in the movie, the arcade showing a game called Killer Shark, while there is a Killer Shark out there. So that pulls back and we see Brody walking along the beach with a walkie-talkie. He is talking to different people strategically positioned throughout the beach, including Hooper, who's out in a boat, saying there's nothing out here yet. There's nothing on the sonar. Nothing's being picked up yet. But he's being followed by Meadows in these amazing red pants. Meadows is he wearing fancy white shoes? He's following a little too close. Like he's really being annoying. And he's like, it's something about a TV station's here. And Brody's like, yeah, I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that later. Whatever. Meanwhile, there's a gazebo with a full-on like jazz ensemble playing music. I didn't realize Amity really delivered as far as like beach entertainment. So the beach is full. I mean, there are a ton of people on the beach here. And I mentioned I'm going to the beach tomorrow. It's still in the plans. It's not 100% definite, but it is in the plans now. It's not going to be a beautiful 90-something degree day or 80-something. It's going to be like in the low 70s. So it might mean the beach isn't that crowded. It definitely won't be as crowded as it is here in Amity. In fact, I don't think I guess I've been on some beaches that have been this crowded. But I mean, we got lifeguards, we got people, we got suntans. Nobody's in the water yet, though. Not one person I've noticed is in the water. Meanwhile, we're seeing all these boats patrolling, chumming. They're chumming the waters. Why are they chumming the waters? Are they trying to pull the shark away from the beach? I guess. To me, it's like maybe the shark was like, I'm going to leave. I'm out of here. It's been a couple. Wait a minute. What's that? What's that I smell? Oh, I'm going to go back. Back. I mean, I don't know if that's a great idea, but Hooper's there. And if Hooper says it's okay, I trust him. So a few times in this movie, we get people looking right in the camera. I mentioned it once. It's going to be coming up again very soon. But in the next scene, the next part of this 4 minutes, we get a lot of people looking in the camera, and that's completely fine because that's when we see the TV reporter, probably from the TV station that Meadows was talking about, and the TV reporter is talking about, the white sand. By the way, does this reporter, spoiler alert of who he is, does he pronounce white? Does he say the H? I almost think he says white sand beaches. But there's a cloud hanging over him, and the cloud in the shape of a killer shark. But the important thing is, who is this man? This is the man, the myth, the legend, the Jaws creator, Peter Benchley. Yes, Peter Benchley is playing the reporter in this movie. It's a great little cameo that, people at the time probably wouldn't know. They probably think, we're seeing a TV reporter, a local who maybe he does TV in Martha's Vineyard. But for those in the know, they probably like, whoa, there's Pete. He wrote this book. This is amazing. So the news is out. The story is out. Everyone knows about this killer shark. But it didn't stop people from showing up at the beaches. So there's also a certain level of personal responsibility that I feel like needs to be applied to these people. Like, look, we know about the shark, okay? Yes, we didn't think about it. We dragged our feet, and yes, we thought we caught the right shark, but it might still be out there. Now, see all those boats? They're out there to try to help you feel better, to make you feel comfortable. Doesn't mean they're gonna definitely catch the shark. Doesn't mean we're even gonna see a shark. Maybe the shark's gone. I don't really know. But welcome to Amity. Swim at your own peril. And that, I mean, at least if you are upfront with, well, I don't know if that's right. Like if you're upfront with them, they can go swimming. But I guess you should probably be more vigilant and say, no, we need to close these beaches. I'm sorry, it's for your own betterment, because people are stupid, and sometimes you have to protect people from themselves, how dumb they are. I keep forgetting this is a parable for real life. So the segment ends with, you see a helicopter flying by. That is the most 70s looking helicopter I've ever seen. It's yellow. It's like fat. It's got the almost like the pontoon so it could land on water. And it flies over as we see a perfectly placed shot, because this is, there's no CGI. It's like, all right, here comes the helicopter. Let's shoot this, and boom, we see Larry, and it stays with Larry on one shot of him looking very nervous, very tentative. But honestly, I don't think he's worried about these people. I think he's worried about these people leaving, as we'll see in the next segment. But he's got a beautiful pinstriped suit coat on, very Easter colors, like very pastel-y. That's not an Italian thing. It's like pastel. It's pastel. I think I'm saying that right. I've never been to a beach that had cabanas on it. Wait a minute, have I? No, not like this. Not changing rooms. I don't think I've ever been to a beach with changing rooms before. Right on the beach like that. I wish there were. If I was rich, I'd open up a private beach and make those exact things. So he's wandering along as we're listening to the balls and strikes of a baseball game, and he spots someone who he recognizes, and that's where the segment ends. I see them right in front of him. It's the old dude, and I guess that's his wife, the old dude who was in the room with Quint. He was on the ferry, on that little barge that when they went and confronted Brody the first time. There he is again. And yes, I'll just say he shows up in future in a different movie someday. There, I didn't say it. And that's it. That's where our 4 minutes comes to an end. So really, the big thing we got out of these 4 minutes are Mayor Vaughn's pig-headedness, the fact that the Amity Police, along with Hooper, have been working extra hard to do everything they can to keep things safe as much as they possibly can, because the beaches are open and they have no power over that. So at least they can try their best to make everyone feel safe. And in the meantime, who cares if a kid got killed? I want to sell souvenirs about sharks. This is the time to strike it hot. Strike while the iron's hot. Strike while the bodies aren't even cold. Jesus. But I'll tell you one thing, those summer dollars, they look to be coming in right there with how many people are on the beach. But will any of them go swimming? Come back tomorrow to find out. Same shark time, same shark channel. But until then, I want to thank Mike for those comments through Spotify. I want to thank Eric for texting me the other night and having that conversation. That was fun. I hope to carry that conversation more with you when you join the show, hopefully next week. And yeah, that is it. Happy anniversary again to my brother. Wow, we're done. I did it. Happy Thursday, everybody. I will be back tomorrow to find out if they go swimming. Well, I hope you will return too. But until then, you can find me on all the socials at Geek Mentality, except TikTok, which is Geek Mentality Mike. If you go to the TikTok page, you'll see there's a brand new video where I made a little video based on that Who song that I put up yesterday. Or was that 2 days ago? I think it was 2 days ago. I don't know. I'm losing track of time. But that's where you can find me. Geek Mentality everywhere except TikTok, Geek Mentality Mike. We have a Facebook page. It's Fans Not Experts. We have a YouTube channel. It's Fans Not Experts. They pinged my Who video for copyright infringement, even though it's a parody song, even though the music I got was from YouTube. Really annoying. But you can still go to our channel at Fans Not Experts or go to the website, which is, of course, fansnotexperts.com. That's it. I'm done. I will talk to you soon. In fact, tomorrow. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode. Fans Not Experts.